Hey everybody, this is Craig Cottle, Director of Nature Reliance School. You've probably noticed in our thumbnails that the mean camera lady's been putting together for us that we've got this super cool braided hemp rope, and we have discovered that we're starting to fray on the end, so we're going to actually utilize the rope that we use for the thumbnails to show you how to tie whipping. So glad you joined us. Now, to do a proper job of this, we need just a few things. We need obviously a rope that has some frayed ends that we want to fix. We need some tape, and I just took this out of a first aid kit because I forgot to bring some actual tape. We have some sort of sharp cutting object, some sort of cutting tool. I'm going to use my typical knife that I carry with me all the time, my CRK M21, as well as some rope, cordage, something or another to use as the whipping. What I'm going to use today is artificial sinew. Sinew is basically the backstrap portions of an animal that you use to make thread for primitive means, but you can get this artificial sinew. The reason I'm utilizing this is because it is waxed and it lasts, well, number one, it's incredibly strong, and number two, it lasts forever due to the wax on it. So we're going to utilize that for this purpose so that we can preserve this knot from fraying anymore, and we'll have a nice rope that we can take some more pictures of when we're done. So we waited just a little bit long to do this. We should have done this before it started to fray, but that's my mistake. But you can twist it up as best you can. We're going to put a piece of tape around it to basically hold it in place while we do what we're going to do in just a few moments. This piece of tape is actually going to get cut off, so it's just there to hold it. Now we're going to tie our whipping just below this. There's two different ways that I've seen that is commonly done. I've got two ends here that I can do this on, so I'm going to show you one way on this end, and I'm going to show you another way on the other end. As far as the sinew is concerned, I get quite a bit, maybe a good, 3 or 4 feet, and that's probably going to be overkill, but so I don't waste it, I usually take these pieces and put them in my leather working kit so that I'm regularly utilizing all the materials I can and I'm not wasting material. But the first way we're going to show you is you take your sinew and you lay it directly down on the line with the working end basically standing up near where the tape is, and that's going to be really all you need to do for right now. And then in essence what you do from there is you begin to wrap. Now I like to take my time and make it real pretty. You don't have to, but in essence I'm going to lay my wrapping right next to one another and just work my way all the way up to cover a good portion of this, and then I'm going to show you the special knot and how to tie it. So we're going to speed this up so you can watch us do it, but at the same time not take all the time to do that. So now that we've got it about halfway to where we think we want to go with it, we create a bike with this loose end, taking it back on itself. So we're going to get some close-ups of this so you can see this as well. But in essence what we're going to do is we're going to start wrapping again so that we can cover up that loose end, and then we'll utilize it to insert in just a moment. So now all we're doing is just finishing it up, taking our time, and again I like to have a solid wrap when I get done so there's no gaps. But once we get to where we feel comfortable that we want to be done, we'll take the loop, push it up slightly, stick our loose end through, and pull it down against. And now what we're going to do is we're going to pull the piece that we pulled through on the bite all the way back through so it pulls everything underneath of the wrap. So now what we have is two ends, and again the beauty of this is when you pull this, make sure you pull it directly up underneath of the whipping itself. You don't want it to be just at the head of it. So once I pull and everything's underneath there really far, I can take my knife and I can pull tension on it, cut it at a 90 degree there, and then cut it at a 90 degree there, and then everything that I just did is completely covered up. There's no loose ends literally to try to concern myself with. And what I'll do next is I'll cut it off right here so that we don't need all this piece that's starting to fray. Now all we need to do is we want to cut it right above where we just whipped it. You can utilize your knife to simply slice through it, depending on how sharp your knife is. You can actually take an incredibly sharp axe and put it on here and baton, or take a sharp knife and baton right through here. But I'm going to cut it. Again, whenever I cut in this manner, I never want to have my thumb directly over my knife. I want to pull it off to the side so if it slips, it doesn't cut into my thumb. And I'm going to slowly twist everything. So that we cut all the way through. And this keeps everything real even. And again, don't try this with a dull knife. I like doing it this way so I can take my time. Now, I got a very clean cut, and my knot is no longer, or my rope is no longer going to unravel. The difference on this next one is real simple like, but I'm going to create a bite. Basically what you can see right here. And I'm going to lay that bite directly down onto my rope. And the loop end, the circular end on the bite is going to be towards the end that I'm going to cut off. And then I start to hold it and wrap it. Sometimes if you don't hold on to it well, it comes undone like it just did. And I just start to wrap right here just like I did before. So we'll speed this up to get done, and then we'll show you what's next. And again, it's virtually the same, but once you get to the end, take your working end, put it through your loop. And then in essence what you have is you pull down from the bottom, and you're going to pull the knot down at the top instead of all the way, or halfway through. So in essence what I'm doing here is just pulling that through. And again, I want to pull that under. So now I'm going to have a loose end that's at the top and a loose end again at the bottom, and I cut those off, and we'll have whipping again. So there you have it. These are my two ends of my what used to be a frayed rope. If they start to come undone again, I'll just do it again. It takes very little effort, very little time. You can knock that out in less than a minute, pretty quick like, if you have the materials ready. And now you've got something, you don't have to worry about it falling apart and all that good stuff. Check it out. It's going to be used on the thumbnails for all our future knot videos, so you'll see this pretty regular from this point forward. And the other cool thing is, once you cut these off, you've got a couple little, I don't know, maybe you utilize these for brooms on your workbench to take some, like my son was out in the garage making some sort of knife or wood something, and you can brush off all the electrical tools and all that good stuff so you can keep everything clean on your workbench. I don't know what you'd use these for, but you can use them for something. As always with Nature Reliance School, we hope you enjoy our knot videos. We appreciate all our subscribers, so please subscribe to the channel and check us out in all of our calendar of classes, because we're teaching all over the country now, and we really appreciate you coming to a class or subscribing to our YouTube channel. As always, come on, join in. Let's learn together.